Hi friends, Candace Gillespie here with Candace's Canvases and Candace'sCanvases.com. Yay, I got my blog going again. So today I'm going to go over my process of the Stamps of Life SailBoat2Stamp stamp set. All the supplies used and social media links and my blog link and everything will be in the description bar below. If you're on Facebook, join my Facebook group page, Crafters Anonymous by Candace's Canvases, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a joyful comment. So using my Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamp platform, I just stamped out the sailboat and the anchor a couple times. Then I'm going to stamp the sailboat, mostly for the sails, on this scrap of adorable patterned paper. I can't throw it away, it's so gorgeous, so I have to use it. And give that a couple good stamps so that it's nice and dark, and then I used the dies and I cut those out. Now I'm going to cut out the boat part of the sailboat, and just so I could get this bottom portion here. And then the mast, is it the mast? the pole part that the sails are anchored to, and out of a different piece of scrap paper. Now I'm going to just add some shading to these patterned paper pieces with N2 and N4. Using N2 first, I just kind of outline the inside of the sails. Then bringing in the N4, and I'll just do the very, very inside portion of that. And then N2 again to just kind of blend it out a little bit. And then N2 and N4 along the boat portion of the sailboat. Just putting it where I think shadows would look good, not necessarily where they belong. I couldn't tell you where they belong, but I can tell you where I think they look good. So, hi, here's Jacob. He's probably going to come and say hi, make some noise, make his presence known. Are you? Uh-huh. He has a shark in his hands. So here I'm messing with my favorite fine liner glue bottle, and it needs a little bit of surgery. I need to soak it in some water. I love that glue bottle so much. It's kind of silly, but after, let me see, I probably have had it over a year, and this is the first time it's been clogged, and it's to be expected. So all I did to fix it was soak it in some hot water overnight. And then in the morning, I just ran water through it, and it was totally clear again. Pretty sweet. Okay, so I glued all that together, and then I'm going to color the anchor using the same N2, in case you didn't get that with the bang in the background. Jacob's playing with some cars. And then also N4 for the darker portion of this, the shadowing. Kind of putting it on the insides and the turns and the corners and stuff where like I said, where I think the shadows go. Do you have water, Jacob?
Baba.
Yeah, water. Okay. So just giving that one more final coat with the N2 so that it's all blended in. It looks cohesive. And then using this little wave die, stitched wave die that comes with the Die Hard kit for this month. Sorry, I'm moving my position so I'm not directly on the same table as Jacob. If you hear all that ruckus in the background, that's what that is. Okay, using some Distress Oxide ink. I am going to, this is the bottom portion, and the first color I used was Evergreen Bough. And then I use some blueprint sketch, and then some Mermaid Lagoon. And this is the ocean part. So I'm thinking the ocean has some green colors, it has some dark and some aqua color blues. So those were the colors that I chose for this. Now the top portion, I did bring in a couple different colors. And I'll show you that in just a second. Using my stamp chamois from Lawn Fawn. This thing is amazing. It does stain and it looks awful, but I love it. So just gluing this down onto a card panel, 4 1/4 by 5 4 by 5 1/4. Because I like about a 1/4 inch seam or whatever. What is it? My brain always blanks. Around the edges of my card. Border, that's what it is, border. Okay, so here I am bringing in Salty Ocean. This is for the top, this is Broken China. So I wanted more blues in the sky, so I'm using Salty Ocean, and I brought in Broken China. And I think I still used maybe some Mermaid Lagoon. This is the Salty Ocean. And I really like the effect that just kind of a light spread of the ink gives. It kind of looks like clouds, or it just gives it that depth that I really like that. I'm not looking for a really solid background. Clean that up again. Okay, then I'm going to glue this down also. Wait a second, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to use my Distress sprayer first and give it some depth and dimension. So squirt that on there and then just soak up the water, and it leaves the little oxidized bubbles. And then do that the same with the bottom. The bottom, however, I believe I just leave it. The top, I give it another layer of ink. Do you hear an airplane? Airplane? Okay, here it is, just giving it another layer of ink. So those little bubbly things kind of look like they're in the background rather in the foreground. Now I'm going to glue it onto my card panel. You know, this Aleene's glue, I really like it. I don't dislike it. It is thick. It can be a little temperamental because it is thick, but sometimes I'll just put some water in it, give it a good shake. I like the glue. I don't have a problem with it at all. But I love my fine liner bottle because I can really control the amount of glue that I use. So I'm using the Stamps of Life stitched rectangles, and I just cut out the largest square is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to try to get it about the same distance as I got the original one here. And then I'm going to flip it over on the back and just use the Post-it to temporarily put them back together, and then using the next size smaller rectangle, stitched rectangle, I am making a frame, a frame. And then I'm just using roughly the same colors. I'm not trying to be exact, but the same colors I'm using on the bottom are the ones I used on the bottom part. And then the same for the top part of the frame are the same colors I used for the top part of the card. And there we go, that'll go right there as soon as I'm done. Fast forward, here is some embossable window plastic or acetate or whatever you want to call it. And I think I got this nice big pack off of Amazon. I will leave a link below. I know you can get it on Simon Says Stamp. There's a bunch of other places you can get it, but I tend to gravitate toward Amazon right now because I'm not on a design team yet. I'm constantly applying to be, so hopefully I'll have good news soon. I don't know. But so I get gift cards for Amazon all the time with our business credit card, so I tend to just get Amazon stuff. But all right, so I have the Amazon link below for you is what I wanted to say. So I just cut out about the same width for the center portion of the frame because I want to make this a shaker card, and it's probably looking like that to you by now. But I decided that I wanted, oops, sorry, Jacob, no thank you. Excuse me. And so I wanted to separate the top part of the shaker sequins from the bottom, and so that's what this little piece is going to serve. So I will just put this on there with some glue, and that stays pretty well. So it'll look like this. I didn't get them identically lined up. I'm totally fine with that. Here's where I'm fussing with the foam tape to give it my dimension. If I could do this again, I would do it with a thicker foam tape. This was a thinner foam tape that I split in half, and it didn't give as much freedom as I would have hoped for my sequin pieces. So the sequin mix on the bottom, I'm mixing like a light green. On the top, I'm mixing more blues. I have darker blues on the bottom. And then let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to put some clear sequins on both the top and the bottom. Big and small, or big and medium sequins. And then some iridescent sequins on the top, because I feel like those are kind of like cloudy looking. I like those, and I have 2 different sizes of those. And what else? I think that might be it. So the blue greenish mix is going to be on the bottom. The blue and the translucent mix is going to be on the top, and both the top and the bottom have clear. So then I just peel off the backing to my foam tape, give it a good kind of scrub down on the inside with my anti-static powder tool thing, and I adhere that down, make sure it's all nice and sealed. If I have any gaps, I just usually will use my fine liner bottle and just squirt some glue in there, and as it dries, it'll create that seal that I need. So bring over our beautifully shaded and patterned paper sailboat, and I'm going to put it right here, kind of in the middle toward the top, like it's floating a little bit on top of that bottom portion. There we go. Love it. I love it so much. It's so fun. Okay, and here I'm just looking which sentiment will fit. I don't want to cover too much up, and I know I want to use black. It's just, I love the black with the white letters. I just think it's so pretty. Real quick, I'm going to do the inside panel, and I'm going to do some inking on that, and the colors I'm going to use on the bottom here are going to match the colors I used for the C portion of the card front. And then just around these corners and sides, I'm going to do some colors that I used for the top portion of the card front. If you notice, I did also die cut that with the stitched rectangle die in the largest size, which measures 4 by 5 1/4. Here I have a stamp that says "Seize the Day," and at first I heat emboss it with white as it is, "Seize the Day," and you'll notice it's just "Seize" is on the top, "the day" is on the bottom, and I decided, well, I love it like this. I cut the little flag part out. I wanted it to just be one line of letters. So all I do is I mask out the top portion, which says "Seize," and then I stamp that down with Versamark ink, and then clean it off, and then mask the top part and then ink up the bottom part and stamp that right next to it. And then I'll put some embossing powder on it. And that'll give you a good idea of what you have. And you'll notice here I have some sticking to the top, and I just flick that off with my brush. I try to clean it up. I do make a little bit of a mess of it. I think my paintbrush has some stray hairs that make it hard to do, but it works out just fine in the end. Melt that down, and I decided that I liked that a lot better. I trim it as close as I can, as straight as I can to the letters with the 9-inch Tonic Studios Tim Holtz scissors. Love those things. Put some glue straight on that paper. I didn't pop it up because I feel like it has enough dimension already, and sending it through the mail might start to get a little complicated, so it's just right on there. And my card front is done, so I just put some glue on the back and put it centered on a top folding black card base. It really makes the blues and the teals and the sea greens pop. There it is, and I have my 1/8 of an inch border on all 4 sides. And on the inside it says, "You are unsinkable." And I'm going to stamp that using my stamp platform, which, by the way, I am so excited for the smaller version of the stamp platform to come out. Let me know in the comments below if you know when that is, because I'm going to be probably among the first to get it because I love this stamp platform. It's so messy, user-friendly if you're a messy stamper like I am, or just I get in there and I get dirty, and when I craft, you can tell my fingers are all inked up, and it's so easy to just wipe off, and I just love it. So anyway, can't wait to get the smaller one too. I'm going to finally die cut out the anchor, and I'm going to put that on the bottom left-hand corner. So this card in the end was very involved, but I think a lot of shaker cards are, especially the more complicated the shaker you want, the more involved it's going to be. But I think the end result was worth it. It is so fun. It has the wow factor. It has the personalized factor. It is so fun, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. The finishing touch is I'm going to bring some of those sequins that are on the outside of the card. I'm going to bring those on the inside too. Kind of gives the impression like maybe the water splashed to the inside. I don't know. That's what it makes me think of. That sums up this card. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your comments, for your subscriptions, for your likes on all my videos. You guys are so supportive. I couldn't do what I do without you. And I hope you have been inspired, and we'll look forward to sharing my next video with you. We'll talk again soon, friends. Bye.